Going to live stream.
Awesome.
And we'll just load this up to see when it actually goes live. Okay. So I believe we should be live. Okay. Awesome. We are live right now, and I am here to do an incredible client spotlight with Miss Erica Fields. And so I'm going to toss it over to you, Erica, to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and who you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Erica Fields. I'm a real estate agent coach, and I help dedicated real estate agents. I provide a tailored strategy for them to develop consistent listings in order for them to really build a career that allows them to achieve goals beyond real estate. So that's what I do.
I love it. I love it. And I am so excited to have you here. Your story is one that I just am constantly inspired by. There's always new pieces of inspiration that are coming out of that. What I want to kind of get started with, if you're okay with, is to share your big win that you've had just recently. If you want to share the little story about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, just to give you guys a little bit of background, I actually got in front of NAS almost 2 years ago now, and always wanted to join the coaching program. And as a result of me joining, I've officially 10x'd my income this month. And yeah, blood, sweat, and tears, but finally did it. And I couldn't thank you more for that.
I love it. And she shared this story last week, and I was like, do you mind if we do a client spotlight? And I really wanted to give her a chance to share this, because not only is it a testimony of us being able to work together, but it's a testimony of the work and dedication and the resilience that you had in doing this. Being able to 10x your revenue is not a small feat, right? Like, I want entrepreneurs to hear that, but I also don't want to just share the pretty good stuff. Like, it was work. Like, it wasn't just snap your fingers and she did it. She had to get down and dirty and do the work in order to achieve that. And I don't know if you're okay with it. I'd love to share the story of how we actually started chatting 2 years ago, and then like how it progressed. If you want to tell that story, I think it's a powerful one.
Yes, thank you. Well, so I was actually W-2. I was fully employed, and I was doing real estate coaching at the time. So I was already experienced in it. And what happened was I was becoming a single mom at the time and doing my budget, and month to month, it was not meeting. I was becoming negative, even with minimum expenses. So I went to my work and I said, hey, here's the reality of the situation, right? Even with, nothing fun, nothing extra. I'm talking no Netflix, nothing, right? No YouTube premium.
Yeah.
Watching ads on everything. So I went to them for help. Just, hey, can we just balance even? Can you just increase my rate? And I had already been there for a while. It wasn't like I was new. I was already 2 years there, and I was dedicated to my craft and what I do. I mean, I'm so dedicated, I'm still doing it to this day, right?
Yeah.
So their idea, well, my first idea was, well, let me just get some government assistance for now, do what I have to do to get by, right? And I actually made a little bit too much to even qualify for that. So I'm in this weird purgatory. And that's why I went to my work, right? I'm like, I don't know what else to do, but I'm just going to keep going into this hole. So what can we do here, right? And their idea was, well, how about I give you less money so that you can actually qualify for this government assistance, right? Which that is a strategy, right? But I felt so much capable of so much more, right? And I wanted to show my daughter, like, we don't have to sit around and wait for something to happen. Like, and it makes me emotional thinking about it, that like, just have to make it happen, right? So I did my taxes a couple months later and realized, you know what? I don't have a ton, but I have enough to just make this jump and not be employed anymore and just do it on my own. And the other fuel behind that, Naz, was knowing at being a coach and coaching real estate agents who are not getting paid hourly, and me saying, just handle it, just stick with it, right? Don't give up.
Yeah.
And it's way different because they look at me and I'm just getting paid and it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And so the other aspect of that was being able to show my agents and being able to show anybody, look, I've done it. Right. I quit my job, and it's not a job that I didn't like. I loved it. They were like family there. But whenever I left, I had a coach at the time, and unfortunately things weren't moving, and I loved her as well. And it was a hard decision, but I knew that I had to make a drastic change, right? I knew that in order to make real money, I had to put real money out there, and I had to get serious about it because I was only making $400 a month, and I was really whittling down fast, and I had made $400 a month for almost an entire year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So then that's when I knew I had to make drastic change, because I can't survive off of this, right? This is not well. So that's when I reached out to you and put in the freaking work, and now we're here.
I am first of all, I just want to share that Erica is truly, truly an inspiration. When you tell me that story, I get tears in my eyes. I get goosebumps, because that's a whole other level, right? Like having to make that jump and leap into yourself, realizing that like your success and the success that you want to share with your family is dependent upon your ability to be able to make those tough decisions. And you made it, and you totally got it to pay off, which is so powerful. So I want to jump into kind of what was it that you felt like was missing, or that you were struggling with, that ultimately led you to seeking out the support that you needed from me?
For me, it was number one, I knew I was worth a lot more deep down, but actually putting that on display and taking action on that was one, right? So and I feel like I had the confidence, but I didn't really have the confidence enough to put it all out there and say, yes, you're going to pay this much a month, and that's just what it is. And as a matter of fact, that's a deal. So you better take me up on it, right?
Yes.
That's one. And then having a strategy that, number one, I could say, okay, this is the strategy, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like just that one thing where, okay, this is all you have to focus on, Erica, each and every single day. Just keep doing your classes, keep doing adding sentences to your homework, to your assignments, right? But really developing a consistent stream, just like what I want to do for my clients, right?
I know. Well, and do you mind sharing? Because I know the jump between what you used to charge.
Yes.
What you charge now, if you don't mind sharing that, because that actually, some of that happened before we started working together, because you and I would chat in DMs and I'd be like, you're not going to charge this much anymore. So can you share a little bit about the progression of what you were charging?
Yes, I was charging, I had a package that was $99, and I had a package that was $149. So my
month.
Package, yes, $149 a month, right? Or 99. Luckily, everybody went for the 149. But after the processing fees that you have to pay from the platforms, they are not steep. They are steep, right? So I was only making that, and now I charge $850 a month.
So 99 or $149 to $850 a month. What do you attribute? Like, what gave you that confidence and that ability to make that shift? Because I know it was not easy. And I think you and I talk a lot about this. I talk a lot about this in business, that making a jump and increasing your prices isn't just a matter of, I'm going to change my prices. There's a lot more that goes into it. And I feel like we got to be honest about that. But share a little bit about what went in it for you to be able to make that huge jump in what you're charging.
Number one, it always starts with our brain, right? Number one, I had to believe and trust in myself that I was worth it. And instead of thinking about the actual dollar amount itself and what that meant and being so like mechanical about it, I looked at the result, right? And that's something that you always remind me to do is what is that result, right? But, and I was making a couple of $100 a month while my clients are literally making tens of thousands of dollars, right?
That's one of the things we talked about, right? We said, what's the ROI? And for anyone listening to this, it's not always a financial ROI either, right? Like we sat down and we talked about that. We said, yes, they're making a financial ROI and that's awesome. But it doesn't mean that financial ROI is the only kind of ROI, right? We found out that there was time ROI. There was just being able to have the strategy and growth ROI. There's so much more that goes into it that when you, one, understand it, but then know how to communicate that to someone else, your value becomes indefinite, right? Like you have that opportunity.
It's very true. And when you say know how to communicate it to somebody else, it's beyond understanding how to communicate it, because it's an understanding of what you do in a way that you've never understood it before, right? It really just, it makes your business feel multidimensional. And that alone was another reason that I felt more comfortable charging higher, because I was like, holy crap, okay.
We actually inside the program, we have this thing called demand angles, which is all about the side effects. And I jokingly tell them all the time, I'm like, the side effect of when you come into our program is that you will feel this incredible confidence in your life where you're like, okay, I see myself now. Like I see what I'm capable of. And that by the way, is one of the biggest things on my end as a mentor, being able to see you accomplish that, like seeing you a year ago and seeing you now as this person who now like fully not only believes in what she's doing, but believes in the value that she brings and understands why that is so freaking powerful is just incredible to watch. I just want you to know that like watching you guys do that is incredible. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
No, the only thing I want to add is I'm so confident now. And I mean, the more that we go through this, I mean, it's like unlocking new layers every time. And I'm ready to increase my prices again. January 1, I'm going to announce a new increase because I can so see it, right? I can just see the value in what's happening on the other side. And I'm also seeing, oh man, if I just add this would infinitely increase their results, right? And create a more valuable product by adding.
And I feel like that's another one of the most powerful things that shift into you is now you're charging more, you're giving more value. And it's not that you're doing more, it's that the value is coming from you and like really inherently knowing in yourself what you do, being able to articulate that, being able to share that, which I know you shared like in the first couple of weeks when you joined, that like now your clients are getting better results because of this shift that you've made for yourself. Absolutely. So it just continues to trickle on into not only your business is more successful, but the success of your clients has increased since then.
Yes.
I love that. So my next question for you is what, if any, were objections you may have had to working with me?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I don't want to say it was an objection. My internal fear was that how the hell am I gonna keep paying for this, right? Like how am I going to, but I know every single time you're not supposed to focus on how, right? Like that's the last thing that we need to focus on. And also I always think about my clients too, and I'm one of those people that have to do it first and then I'll expect you to do it. And number one, that's so for me, so that way I'm in alignment. And number two, that's because I can hold you more accountable and I can make sure you don't give me excuses because I've done it too.
Yeah, I love it.
So that was one thing, and I was shaking. I was sick to my stomach. I've never felt like that before, right? And that was another thing, right? Well, if it's outside of your comfort zone, it's got to be the right thing to do.
Yeah. I know. Well, we have a funny saying, like when people join, we actually send out an email that says it's called scare-sighted, like welcome to being scare-sighted, where I always say there's going to be this like, holy crap, what did I just do? And I feel like that a lot of times we've been taught that that's a signal that we're making the wrong decision. But in business, it's actually a signal that we're making the right decision because it's a scary enough decision that we've made mostly because we know, what if this really works? What if this does exactly what it's meant to do? And all of a sudden my entire life is changing. So you're scared, but you're also so excited, and you're mixing those two things together. So I think it's powerful to share that, because I say it all the time. People come to me and they're like, I'm so scared, I almost feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm like, good. If you weren't, then I feel like you're not in the right place, and you didn't make a decision that was really taking you to a whole new level. So my next question is, what has been the most profound change that you've seen in yourself and what you're doing since you started?
Really showing up more. And I hope I can say this without getting emotional, but you're doing the wins, right? It's so small, but every single day we post wins, and I really focus on being consistent with that, because I know it's such a small detail that is so easy to overlook, but really it's one of the biggest things that we could do for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is that I always say to myself, like, one of my struggles is like, okay, what am I actually going to write? So sometimes when I don't post one, I realize, man, I have a problem saying, good job, Erica. I feel like everything's just supposed to happen. Ugh, don't get emotional.
It's okay. That's okay.
I just feel like, okay, well, you did this, you're supposed to do it, right? Like, don't give yourself extra credit, but doing that gives you so much confidence. You realize, it almost forces you to dig deep and realize how, no matter what, even the smallest thing really is a win.
Well, and I think that it's understanding that your wins, number one, are your wins. Like, I think that we've been taught for so long that winning is something we don't share, and winning is just something we're doing, and that it's not something extra. It's not something that important. And I think we get into a habit of telling ourselves and are putting our heads down and believing that, like, we're just going through the motions, but you're not going through the motions. You're winning every freaking day. Like, as an entrepreneur or not, like, but as an entrepreneur, especially, every day that you get up and you put on your shoes and you show up for the success that you know was meant for you is a win. Every time you post a piece of content that has the trajectory to support not one person, but millions of people's lives that you're changing, it's a win. Like, and I think that we spend so much time being focused on these like big things, because that's what we see all around us, that we forget that wins compound on wins. Like, you taking one small action every single day compounds into a huge freaking result. And you are absolutely proof of that. And you were so dedicated to doing that. And I think we said this again and again, like, I was so excited to see your wins every single day. And I think you started to get excited to see your wins and see things as they were progressing and as they were moving forward. And you kind of did it quietly, still in your own way. Like, you shared your wins and you kept going. But at the end of the day, you got to sit there and say, holy crap, I looked at it and now I just realized I 10x'd my revenue. Yeah. Like, that is huge, but that's huge. But every freaking thing you did along the way was what created that win. You wouldn't have gotten there with having not done that. And not to mention the fact that every time you win, everyone else around you wins. Like, your kid wins, your family wins, your clients win, because that's how it works. Is the more we start to see those, the more opportunities we seek for that as well. So I love that. And I'm so proud of you and so excited for you for being able to achieve that. I also will say that, like, just watching you transition and shift into having the confidence, having the messaging and the ability to be able to share that, but then having the strategy. You're one of those people who, it's rare that I see this, that says, give me the strategy, I'll do it. And a lot of people will say the thing, right? Not a lot of people will do the thing. And so when we gave you the strategy, like, I remember you getting the visibility and the 1 hour marketing strategy, and you were like, cool, I've got this. And even when you had days that you didn't do it, you were like, I'm going to get up tomorrow, I'm going to do this again and again. So I think it's so powerful that you created accountability and commitment to yourself and to your success as well. So I just want to shout your name from the rooftop, because that's a rare thing to see in the online space.
Thank you.
I love it. So my last question for you is, why, if someone was considering working with me, what would you say?
I would say, why haven't you already done it?
Yeah, why?
Why haven't you already done it? Right. It literally is the quickest thing to propel yourself. Right. I mean, aside from the strategy itself, it's having that accountability and that group and seeing other people all of the time also sharing their wins and doing amazing things. And then, you're seeing them each and every single week and they're dealing with the exact same thing. And then they go on to win. And you're like, oh man, I'm just around the corner. Right. Yep. Even though they're dealing with these same exact things, they are still winning. Right. And it's huge to see that behind the scenes because, dude, it is nothing like what you see on the other side. So you've got to get in. And obviously, your strategy is, I think it gravitated towards me because it's just real. And it's not like, it's something that could work at any time, no matter what, right? It's adaptable to you. You do not have to do what I see a lot of is you have to do this type of thing. You have to do this type of thing. That's never been your thing, right? Whatever is actually working is you're creating a strategy around that. And I think that's what's really beneficial because you don't have to change yourself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's sustainable. It's leverage. It's something you get to use again and again. And I say that all the time when I say I literally have clients who come back 11 years later using the same strategy. I'm not joking. Like, I mean it, that they're leveraging the same strategy because it's built to fit them. It's built to fit you. It creates something that allows you to feel confident in what you're doing versus me trying to fit you into a box where you're always going to feel like you're out of place and it's not your space. So I love that. I appreciate you so much for being here today and sharing that. If people want to learn more about you and what you do, can you share where they can learn more about you? And she'll pop back into the comments as well to share that, but can you share where they can find your amazingness?
Yes, absolutely. The best place is my website, purpleelephantcoaching.com. That you can connect with me. You can reach out on my social media, but I would love to start a conversation with anybody who's willing to talk.
I love it. Well, thank you again for being here. And for those of you who are watching, if you're listening to Erica's story and you feel the nudge to realize that you want that same support container, you want the strategy, you want to be able to have the leverage and sustainable success that allows you to drive your business forward, feel free to send us a DM or drop EasyS in the chat and we'll chat with you a little bit more about what the EasyS method looks like and how it could work for you. But again, I want to thank you so much, Erica, for being here with us today and sharing your incredible story of how you've gone from single mom, barely making it and trying to figure out all the pieces to like killing it in your business and crushing these crazy goals. And I'm so excited for you. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much, Naz.